Well, that night, um, there's kind of an initiation type thing coming, and Cena's on the bus saying, "I'll see you in the bar," and I'm like, okay, and people are trying to get me scared, like, oh, like, no, like they're gonna see you in the bar, and I'm like, okay, I got. This is awesome. That's John Cena, and he knows my name, and that's cool. And Shawn Michaels is on the bus, and apparently he was coming down to the bar, and it was the first time in 7 years that he came down to a bar. So Cena's hot at me because he's never drank with Shawn Michaels, but for me, he's coming to the bar, and then so I get to the. Now, mind you, I'm 33 years old.
So you went from Shawn Michaels on the bus thinking you were a local tech guy to be an intercontinental champion having a beer with Shawn Michaels after the event.
Yeah.
What?
So it was Marty Elias is like, it's okay. I grew up in Toronto in the 90s. It was nightclub culture. We went out every night. We drank all the time. I'm 33. I'm not 20 years old. I'm 33. So I know there's nothing that anyone's going to do to me that I haven't done to myself worse. So as soon as I got to the hotel, I ran to catering, and there was a big thing of a rice steamer. So I wolfed down a bowl of rice as fast as I can. I'm preparing my stomach. I know what's coming. And then Marty Elias goes, "You're summoned in the bar." So I go to the bar, shots of Jack. I break away one more time. I knew I needed a little more rice. So I went to catering, a little more rice. And then Marty's like, "No, you better get back to the bar. Like, you're getting hot. You can't leave the bar anymore." So I get to the bar again. And now it's like, okay, I'm saying to myself, plant your 2 feet and endure. Your job is to endure. You stand here. If you have to stand here for 12 hours, you're going to stand here for 12 hours. And then it was shots of Jack, shots of Jack. Ric Flair's in the bar. And they're like, "Rick would like to address you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is getting better. This is incredible." So Ric Flair comes in, he gives me the welcome to the fraternity speech. And I'm just like shaking, smiling, like this is incredible. Uh, you know, Everyone's there at the bar, like everyone, the roster, the producers. It was just a night, and I'm just elated. Like the alcohol is not even affecting me. I'm on such a high. I'm on cloud nine. I just debuted. I just in the WWE. I'm like, I didn't want the night to end, to be honest.
You're the intercontinental champion,
I'm
brother.
I'm wearing the title in the bar. And yeah, and so anyway, I'm having such a good time. I said, "You know what, guys, I'd like to buy everybody a drink in the bar," and so I buy around, and people go, "He's buying drinks now. What the heck?" And they go, "This guy doesn't get the point here. He's supposed to get drunk." But I had that rice in my belly, and I bought another round, and so someone else is buying a round, but I'm buying rounds as well. And all of a sudden, everybody starts peeling off. Like, "Oh, I'm out." And guys are peeling off. I'm out. I'm out. There's TV tomorrow. I'm out. And CM Punk, I remember he was leaving the bar like, "Good luck." And he saw me standing there. 6:30 in the morning, he's walking in. His mouth drops. He's like, still standing there. And I think it was down to me. I think Cena was like, I was the last guy in the bar. And so the story is, it kind of, changed a little bit that I outdrank everybody, but I paid for it. Once the alcohol permeated through that rice and got in there, I suffered. I suffered the next day. I ended up, timber, and I hit a plant, and someone brought me to my room. Next thing I remember, it's knock, knock, knock. They're waiting for you on the bus. And I'm like, "Oh my God." I don't even know what I put on. Grabbed my bag. It was Jimmy Tillis found me, butt naked with the belt on, and stagger on the bus, and I can hear all the snickering as I looked like, death, right? I just sat down, leaned against the window, tried to get back to my coma where I was, and someone, I think it was Matt and Jeff Hardy, they brought me to the arena, found me a little spot in the back. Just to every half hour snooze was like I was kicking out slowly. And then it was time for like a rehearsal for that night, and I showed up, and Vince was like, "Have you been drinking?" And I was just like, and then he started laughing, and everyone laughed, and I go, "Okay," because he heard the story, and I was just, I was able to, but Funny enough, that was the only time that night I had to do. It was ECW. I did a promo because everyone's like, "Who's this Santino guy that came out of the audience? Let's hear from him for the first time." And it was the only time in my career ever I forgot my lines because I was still hungover. But again, Dusty Rhodes, he gave me a trick. It was, if you ever forget your lines, just become overcome with emotion. Just do one of these, pause, and think of them, right? And sure enough, I forgot my lines, got caught up with emotion, and just remembered enough to gonna get out of there.